Well, hello there, and welcome to a deep dive on SLA domains. The idea behind an SLA domain is to express the service level agreement created between the IT team and various business units. SLAs are often expressed in terms of a few different metrics: RPOs, or recovery point objectives, retention, which is the quantity of time to keep data, and the RTO, or the recovery time objective, which measures how long it takes to bring up an application or service after it's come down. The SLA domains in Rubrik capture this information as policy details. Let's build an SLA and walk through all of the policy controls that are available to you. To begin with, I'll click on SLA domains on the side, and I'm going to go to Create SLA Domain in the upper right. And there we go. To start, we'll need to name the SLA domain. Choose something that's kind of descriptive, or you can use a tiered system, such as precious metals. Now by default, there's gold, silver, and bronze, so I'm going to build one called platinum. Just navigate to the name here, type platinum, and there you go. Next, we'll fill out the policy details. This is expressed in how often to take snapshots, which are our fancy word for backups, and that's the RPO, the recovery point objective, and then how long to retain the snapshots, which is the retention. RPOs can be assigned in hourly, daily, monthly, or even yearly increments. Choose the increments that meet your SLA. You should be able to roughly mirror what you've agreed to with the business in Rubrik. Then, determine how long to retain the backups for that specific RPO. So in this example, I'm going to back up platinum every 2 hours. So I'm going to type 2 for the every 2 hours. And notice that the 4 days field is now, this field is required. I have to tell it how long to keep the snapshots. I'm going to keep those for 2 days. By the end of the second day, I should have 24 backups spaced out in 2-hour increments. Next, I'm going to make sure to keep at least one daily backup for an entire month. Go to the Every Days section. So every 1 day, I want to keep a backup for a whole month. This will result in having a backup once per day, every day, for an entire month, in addition to the initial set of hourly backups. By default, Rubrik will begin taking backups as soon as a virtual machine is assigned an SLA domain. If that's just not desirable, you can edit the snapshot window. I'll scroll down a little bit and click on the snapshot window. Scroll down a little more, and there we go. The Take Snapshots From field lets me define an acceptable range for backups. Note that this will override any hourly backup RPOs. After all, if you say you can only take backups between midnight and 2 a.m., but you want backups all day every 2 hours, that's just not going to work. The next field that says Take First Full Snapshot sets a specific date and time to take the first full backup. This is when Rubrik has to ingest the entire set of working VM data. And that may take a while, so you may decide to run it at a specific time. But subsequent backups used VMware's Change Block Tracking, or CBT, and should be much quicker. I'm going to go ahead and hide the snapshot window because we won't use it here, and we'll talk about the Cloud Archive policy. This policy defines how many backups will remain on the Rubrik appliance, or on-premises, versus archived to a public or private cloud. By enabling it, just like that, we can use the slider to keep more data locally or send more data to the cloud. It's really that simple. It's at the right here. If I slide it this way, I can only keep maybe 10 days on the appliance, or I can slide it to keep 20 days on the appliance. And then the remainder will be archived to cloud. Notice, however, that the slider's scale is based on the longest RPO value from this policy. For Platinum, we're keeping 1 month of daily backups. That's our longest RPO. Therefore, the archive slider ends at 30 days. Finally, there's a section for configuring replication. If you happen to have Rubrik deployed in multiple data centers, such as your primary and secondary sites, you can create a replication pairing between those Rubrik clusters. Replication has a similar mechanic to the cloud archival policy. So a slider is going to appear, allowing you to replicate your backups to a secondary Rubrik deployment by sliding it left or right, determining how much data to go to your secondary site. It's pretty simple. That's it. There's nothing more to configure. I'll go ahead and click the Create SLA Domain. That's it. The Platinum SLA domain is now available for VM assignment. We put a lot of thought into it to make it really simple and friendly for you so that you can get to protecting VMs and not fiddling around in the UI.